Morning, Folsom High. It's Wednesday, May 8th, and it's time for your Bulldog Daily Bulletin. I'm Ryan Walker.
And I'm Jose Acosta. The news is next, but for now, please stand for the Pledge of the Allegiance.
Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Here's the news. Breathe California is hosting a smoke screening movie night tonight from 3:10 to 4:15 p.m. in HS 201. They'll be watching Magnificent Seven and discussing the influence of tobacco in popular movies. There will be snacks and prizes. See Miss Garanti for details or to sign up in advance.
Tomorrow, May 9th, there will be an informational meeting about the Forestry Club and the Forestry Challenge event during pause in Miss Johnston's room C103. And attention Bro members. Have you thought about joining our officer team next year? Officer application forms are available on Google Classroom or from Ms. Garanti in HS 201.
Seniors, purchase your Sober Grad Night tickets online at folsomsgn.com for the current price of $80. The prices will increase to $90 on May 26th and $100 at the door. An SGN t-shirt pickup will be on campus starting tomorrow during lunches and continue on Tuesday and Wednesday until the 22nd. The SGN t-shirt is your ticket into the event, and a completed waiver must be turned in to receive your t-shirt. Waivers can be downloaded from folsomsgn.com.
Gosh, it sure is getting hot, except for when it's unusually cold.
You can say that again, but will it last? Let's check in with Nick in the weather to find out more.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Nick, here to talk about the weather. Let's check the weather out today. Today will be a low of 53 and a high of 83. Tomorrow we'll get a chance of rain, but this Saturday and Sunday, it will be clear for Mother's Day and an average of 79 and an average low of 53. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Nick. Attention all students. Student accounts will no longer accept personal checks for the remainder of the school year. Cash and credit cards will be the only methods of payment accepted. And also seniors. The senior survey is overdue. Seniors who have not submitted their survey along with their parents were sent an email this week with instructions on how to complete the survey. Seniors who do not submit their survey today will be called out of class next week to complete it. If you have any questions, please see Miss Reed in counseling.
The library hours of the month will vary because of AP testing. Please check the daily library schedule posted on the front doors, as the open and close times may vary, and this is the time to return any textbooks or novels you're not using. Books can be returned anytime the library is open. Additionally, all textbooks, novels, nonfiction books, and calculators are due back no later than the last day of school.
And one last note from the office. Students, please check the lost and found outside the suspension room for any lost items. All items will be donated Tuesday, May 21st. That's all the news for today, Bulldogs. I'm Ryan Walker.
And I'm Jose Acosta. Shout out to that epic gamer in my math class trying to sell me his shirts. Let's make it a great day to be a Bulldog.
It's that time of year again. Folsombration. One day a year, right before spring break. Focusing on the art, physics, and engineering projects made throughout the year. Watching the setup, we wait in awe for the show to begin. An entire year's worth of projects, culminating hundreds of hours of hard work. It'll truly be a sight to see. One of the main attractions of Folsom is the vast selection of art pieces. Each and every piece has a little bit of the artist's own heart and soul. You can really see the effort put into the pieces by each artist. Paintings, hand drawings, beginner and expert level stuff. There was so much to see. Here's Katie McHugh talking about her painting.
I'm Katie McHugh and I'm in Art 1. This is of my friend Andrea, and I took it at the 99-cent store, and it's just surrounded by a lot of flowers, and I really like it because it's very colorful.
There were lots of awesome 3D design projects, from these miniatures to big dragon heads, as well as the science, engineering, and architecture classes with their cool projects.
Jesus Christ. That's hella cool.
Here's physics student Thomas Kramer with his wind turbine project.
Hi, I'm Thomas and I'm in physics. Okay, so what we have here is a wind turbine. This thing, it spins, of course. We have our fan blades, and they're 3D printed. They spin around this bit right here, which is the rotor. Inside, you can't really see from there, but there are magnets inside that generate a magnetic field. And then this magnet wire right here, we have magnet wire wrapped around this fiberglass, and that helps to strengthen the magnetic field. It generates power and current and voltage and all that.
Besides those things, there were also lots of interesting things to see from digital art. Lots of cool photographs, all with unique editing done to them. Here's Sydney Fagan.
I'm Sydney Fagan. I'm in Digital Art 1 this year. I have two pieces in the art show. Devil Gama is a space-themed inspired project. Our assignment was to digitally draw something that had two planets in it, and I went extra above and beyond and turned my friend Ethan into an alien. I named it Devil Gama because since I drew like the tail and like the antennas coming out of his head, I was like, oh my god, he looks like the devil. And then never say gamer with a hard R, so Gama, and then I put Gama on his little knuckles as one of the tattoos.
There were also many pieces in the library, and some of my personal favorites were here. Lots of amazing talent, so much creativity in the pieces. Folsom, although held once a year, feels like once in a lifetime. Every year there's so many original pieces. It can be hard to wrap your head around how much of everyone's blood, sweat, and tears are in them. Make sure to come check it out next year if you couldn't this year. You won't regret it. I'm Daniel Kramer, signing off for Folsom 2019.
Folsom is a school-wide collaborative event consisting of engineers, painters, photographers, and scientists, showcasing the projects they've worked on throughout the year. It is the epitome of innovation here at Folsom High School, and it happens every year. Despite Folsom being a one-day event right before spring break, it actually begins a week before. At this time, the talented innovators who partake in Folsom take the time to set up in the gym, library, and IB building. Keep in mind, these projects are the result of a semester's worth of hard work. Months of preparation and dedication goes into the many trifolds, canvases, and structures that can be found all across campus. As expected, these wonderful artists are excited to talk about their projects.
My name is Tabitha Heiser, and I am a junior at Folsom High. I did a project for chemistry class, and then I also did another project for Principles of Engineering. It was a bridge for the Folsom Zoo. I have been working for about the start of January, so about 3 to 4 months, well, longer for engineering, so about 5 months. My favorite part was just talking to the different students and judges and teachers about the projects and what we did, what we learned, and just talking with friends and seeing what they did and just learning a bunch of different stuff, yeah.
As always, Folsom is a success, enjoyed by all grade levels. The freshmen were especially excited to see what all the commotion was about.
I was really excited for Folsom because it was the first time that I had ever done it, and I'd heard tons of things about it. I was really excited to go out for a day and explore a bunch of different exhibits that I could go around and see what other electives are doing. I saw the engineering exhibits, and I also saw a lot of the art exhibits. There were a lot of different types, and I saw some of the technical theater things. Out of everything, my favorite was probably the art exhibits because in the library specifically, those are the AP art student exhibits and they were all really nice drawings and paintings that were fun to look at.
In the end, Folsombration is a truly spectacular event that weaves together creativity across the fields of art, science, and engineering. We hope to see you next year at Folsom High's one and only Folsombration.
Today I'm going to be briefly reviewing the massively successful musical biopic Bohemian Rhapsody. This movie is rather complicated. It was announced 10 years ago and went through many changes over that time. There were many casting changes early on, and drama between the cast and the director proved to be detrimental for the production. With the original director fired and replaced when the movie was almost done, it came with some consequences. One thing that I've heard people point out about Bohemian Rhapsody is that it doesn't know what it's about. It goes from being a movie about Freddie Mercury, to being about Mary Austin, then Paul Prenter, and then being about the band Queen. I can understand this complaint. The movie can be rather messy and fast-paced. It also has a problem with accuracy, mostly timeline issues. In the touring montage, for example, the band is shown performing the song Fat Bottomed Girls during the mid-1970s and before they recorded Bohemian Rhapsody. In actuality, the song Fat Bottomed Girls didn't come out until 1978, many years after the song Bohemian Rhapsody was released. There are many other timeline errors that are much worse than this one. I think that the biggest complaint for this movie should be the writing or the editing. The writing makes the pacing wander, sometimes being super fast and covering several years of time in only a few minutes, and sometimes being very slow and dragging on. An example is the montage I mentioned earlier. It covers Queen's complete rise to fame over several years in a little more than a minute. Then it suddenly slows down in the next scene at Rockfield Studios. The worst part of the movie, I think, is the editing. It's probably some of the worst editing I've ever seen in a film because it has so many cuts. For example, this scene is 1 minute and 46 seconds long and it has a total of 61 cuts, some of the shots lasting less than a second. If you were to count all of the cuts in Bohemian Rhapsody, it would probably add up to thousands. It is very distracting. It cuts away so often that you have no time to even catch your breath. Also, the editor seems to love reaction shots because there are a lot of them. Even though this movie has flaws in its technical work, I really enjoyed it. I walked out of the theater crying and feeling very moved. I found myself absorbed in the story and caring about the events. Even though there are some timeline changes, the attention to detail in this movie is massive and shows how much care was put into it. Little details like the clothing, hairstyling, and makeup were very well done. During the Live Aid scene, everyone in the audience looked blown away. The grandness and energy this movie has was effective and refreshing. The casting was great, the emotion was great, and even though the visuals in the movie were flashy and overwhelming, most of the time they were very pleasantly colorful. Maybe it's because of the music and the subject matter, or maybe the fact that I was a casual Queen fan when I first saw it. But it doesn't surprise me that this film earned more than $900 million worldwide and created a phenomenon. It made me better understand and appreciate the band Queen. So I'm going to rate Bohemian Rhapsody a 7.5 out of 10. I loved it, but it certainly is not a technical marvel and has several problems. Due to this, it couldn't be higher than an 8. I know the critics hated it because of its flaws, but audiences loved it because of its character. This movie is nowhere near perfect, but it had emotion and told a meaningful story, which is what film is truly about.